Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to see an Microsoft Agent framework which is a recent release in the first week of October. So there are already a couple of agentic framework available out there in the market, and there are a couple of frameworks from the Microsoft itself, like we have AutoGen, which is the open source framework, then Foundry Agentic AI framework, which is also there in order to build the agentic applications, which supports multi-agent collaboration as well. Now, if there are already the frameworks available, then why there is a need of this new framework, Microsoft Agent framework? It's because the Microsoft Agent framework is different than the other frameworks that are available, because it is a unified software development kit, which not only helps you build your customized agentic application, but it also helps you build and deploy or scale your agents. And that is what is required from the enterprise perspective. So I got a couple of questions that which frameworks we should select for our project. So there is always this particular question that which framework we should select for building our agentic AI application. And that is where like Microsoft Agent Framework is helping you. If you want to build anything on the enterprise level, then definitely you should go for the Microsoft Agent Framework. Again, which is a recent release. So there are a couple of enhancements that are going to come in this particular framework as well. But the way they have released this particular framework, again, it is trusted by Microsoft. So again, a good choice whenever you are selecting it. It not only helps you build your application, but it also help you deploy the application and scale your agentic AI frameworks easily. And as it is managed and secured by the Azure, again, it is trusted and supported by the organizations as well. Then not only that, it supports the multi-agent collaboration, just like the AutoGen framework that they have released, which supports the multi-agent collaboration. This framework is also helping us with the multi-agent collaboration, where you can build the pool of different agents in order to delegate your complex task and come up with a refined solutions. So it is not only helping you build the multiple agent solutions, not only helping you delegate your complex task into multiple simple agents and perform your complete end-to-end solutions or build your complete end-to-end solutions, but it also help with the collaborating between these multiple agents. And again, agent collaboration is a big task. It is always important if you are building a multiple agent solutions, then for that particular multi-agent solutions, how exactly the conversation should flow across these multiple agents is very important. And that is what is supported by the Microsoft Agent Framework. You can easily collaborate multiple agents in order to solve your complex problem. The next one we have is the consistency across the platforms, and which is again very much important and a unique point for this particular agent framework, because it provides a one software development kit with the help of which you can connect to any large language model. So you can connect to the Azure OpenAI models, you can connect to the Azure Foundry services, you can connect to the Anthropic models, you can use any Claude models that you want to use. Not only that, you can also leverage the open source models like Gemini. Then you can also use some models from the Hugging Face. You can easily integrate them into the agentic AI framework provided by the Microsoft. And as it is a unified SDK, you need to write this particular code once. And once you write this particular code, you can later on switch the knob to any model that you want to use. You no need to change the underlying code as such. Then next we have is the tool and API integration. Obviously, because whenever we are building an agentic framework, we want a customizations in that, right? So whenever you want to integrate any custom functions or tools, or you want to hit to the any custom API, this Microsoft Agent Frameworks provides the tools, pre-built tools and APIs with the help of which you can go ahead and complete those tasks as well. Moving ahead, we have automation with AI agents. So the Microsoft Agent Framework is not only helping us with the building the agent AI application, but it also helps us with the automating the workflows. So just like Copilot Studio or the multiple frameworks that are available out there in order to build this automation, end-to-end automation, this agentic framework supports this particular automation feasibility, where you can quickly connect to the other services that are available in Azure, like you can connect to the Azure AI Search, which is a vector store, then OpenAI models, you can connect to the Azure function apps, you can connect to, let's say, Logic app, multiple services provided by the Azure, and you can easily integrate them into the agentic AI framework, and you can automate those workflows, just like the Copilot Studios. And that's how this agentic framework is different than the other frameworks available out there. So let's deep dive and understand what are the core components that are available under this particular agentic AI framework. So first one is the chat client. Now chat client again is a unified connector which help you connect to your multiple services. Let's say today you are consuming the model from Azure OpenAI and tomorrow you want to switch the flip to, let's say, Google Gemini model. You can easily do that. The chat client functionality helps you, or it provides the classes with the help of which you can easily switch to the another models. So as you can see, like it is a one interface to chat with multiple AI models. You can consume any large language model that you want to. Function tools, obviously, whenever you want to customize your workflow, let's say you have written a custom Python functions or you have a custom Azure function app that you want to integrate into your Agentic AI application, you can easily do that with the help of function tools. Let's say you have written any code in any language and you want to make it AI driven, you can easily integrate that into the Microsoft Agent framework with the help of function tool, and you can automate those workflows. You can execute those Python functions with the help of this particular framework. And this adds a lot of customizations because whatever functions that you want to write or whatever customized code that you have written, you can easily trigger those codes with the help of this particular agentic AI framework. Then moving ahead is the built-in tools. Built-in tools, there are a couple of built-in tools that are available like code interpreter, file search, web search, and these are helping us in order to connect to the real world. Let's say web search tool is helping us connect to the real world and extract the latest and greatest information that is available in the market. Code interpreter is helping us in order to execute the workflows that or execute the customized functions that you have written. Let's say if we are taking an example of AutoGen, then in AutoGen, whenever you want to execute any code, you need an interpreter or compute power in order to execute that code, and that you need to set up manually. Either you want to use an Docker or you can use an Jupyter interpreter in order to execute that code. But here in Microsoft Agent Framework, it provides the code interpreter. You no need to worry about the which language the code is written and how exactly you want to execute that. Everything is supported in this particular agent framework. So it becomes easy. You just need to take care of writing the code and everything else is managed by the Microsoft Agent Framework. Then file search, again, if you want to deal with your customized files, PDFs, Excels, then easily you can integrate them into the this particular framework with the help of built-in tools. Not only that, you can hit to the external APIs, and that is also feasible. We'll see all those details in upcoming videos. The next core component that we have is the conversion management, because whenever we are building an agentic framework or whenever we are talking to the large language model, there are multiple roles that we need to take care of, and it provides a wide variety of roles. As you can see, it provides user, assistant, system, and tools with the help of which you can easily build an multi-agent solutions. Also, you can add an custom built-in capability as well. Then we have a workflow orchestration, which supports the multi-agent collaborations. And whenever we are building a multi-agent collaboration, always there is a question, how exactly you want to execute your workflow, how in which sequence you want to trigger your agents. And that is what the multiple workflows are provided by the Microsoft Agent Framework. Like you can execute the agents in sequence, parallel, or you can make it as a group workflow, and you can decide, you can have an agent itself to decide which next agent to call. All those feasibilities available. Let's say if you want to write any report and summarize it, then you can request one agent to generate the report and fellow agents to summarize it. So that's how you can easily build the multi-agent workflow. Let's understand how it is leveraging the Azure AI Foundry in order to provide the enterprise level security. So whenever we are building an agentic framework, it is always important for the organization that it provides a high level of security. And as it is trusted by Microsoft, and again, it is using the Azure AI Foundry. So Azure AI Foundry is already providing a good enterprise level security and scalability. And that is what it is leveraging. So basically, the code interpreter and function tool integration is provided with the help of Azure AI Foundry, because those features are already available in the AI Foundry service. Then auto tool invocation, which connects to the Azure functions, Azure search. This we have already seen that uh, you just need to integrate those functions. There are pre-built in tools that are available with which you can connect to these services. Then persistent conversation thread. If you are aware about the Azure AI Foundry, then all the conversation history is managed on the threads. So each thread is responsible to manage each user session, and that's how it is basically keeping a pool of conversation that is happened across, or that have happened across the different users or across the single users, and that is managed with the help of thread management capability. Then for authenticating and connecting to the large language models or connecting to the service, it is using a secure authentication. Now there are multiple authentications that are available based on your enterprise level security. You can choose that. Like a Azure CLI method is available. With the help of command line interface, you can easily connect to this particular service. Then we have RBAC, role-based access control. If you want to define if you want a specific users to access the specific services, that is possible with the help of RBAC, which is widely used in the organization. Then you have MACL, a Microsoft authentication library, which helps you create a bearer token whenever you want to authenticate whether the user who is logging in is correct user or not. So, and that is the secure authentication used across the multiple enterprises, and that's where it is widely supported by the organizations. Now let's understand why this particular Microsoft Agent Framework matters. Because it enables autonomous and scalable and secure AI ecosystem. And that is what is the demand for the enterprises, and where you can easily integrate multiple agent collaborations from simple chatbots. You can build an enterprise level AI orchestrations. You can build an end-to-end projects as well. And that's what we'll be building as part of this particular series. Now enough of theory, let's understand how exactly we can quickly build solutions with the help of Microsoft Agent Framework. So let's straight jump onto the coding session. So I have opened my Visual Studio Code. Let me quickly show you the details that I have already created. So these are the specific requirements: Agent Framework and Python.env in order to load the secret. And again, Agent Framework is the library which is providing us the software development kit in order to build these particular solutions. Then in the environment, I have mentioned two environment configs. First one is the Azure OpenAI endpoint and the Azure OpenAI chat deployment name. So let me show you from where I have grabbed those details. So you can go to portal.azure.com, and I have created this particular Azure AI Foundry service. So let me open that service. And from this service, we have selected Azure OpenAI. This is my Azure OpenAI endpoint, and this is the key that I have copied. And under the model sections, I have already deployed GPT-4o mini model. So you can deploy that model by just going here and selecting a deploy base model, and you can choose the model and deploy that quickly. So those are the configurations that we have loaded. Now let's get started. So I have already created this create agent.py. So first of all, let's go ahead and load the environments. So I have connected to the virtual environment. I have already created the VNV. You can go ahead and create that. I am using Python 3.13, and I have selected the kernel. You may will have to install the Jupyter as well. Okay, so I have loaded the secret. Now next step is to build a connection. Now in order to connect to the OpenAI service, let's use this particular code. So from the agent framework, we'll be using an Azure OpenAI chat client, as we discussed in the theory, that this particular chat client is responsible in order to connect to the service. Now, as it is a Azure OpenAI chat client, it is responsible to connect to the Azure services only. So where we are passing the Azure CLI credentials. Now we are choosing the Azure CLI method of connecting to the service, and that's where we have imported Azure CLI credential. Now, in order to connect to that, first of all, we need to log into the Azure portal with the help of Azure CLI. So I'm opening my terminal, and here I'm just simply using a command az login, which will help us connect to the Azure AI Foundry. But before that, you will have to install the Azure command line. So you can go to Google and just search Azure CLI, and based on your operating system, you can go ahead and install the Azure CLI. And once it is installed, if you are facing any issue with the AZ login, you need to set up the environment path. So open your environment variable and add the base path there. Now I am hitting the AZ login. So it will open a pop-up for me to log into this particular service. So you can see it has opened this particular login. I'm selecting the account, continuing it. And if multi-authentication is enabled, it will ask you to sign in with that. You can see this is the subscription that I have. So I'm just hitting enter. So I have selected the service. Now I have logged into the service. Now this particular Azure CLI credential will use this particular environment config and connect to the Azure AI Foundry. And then we have built a simple agent. So now we are seeing a simple example of creating a psychologist style agent, where you can see with the help of Azure OpenAI, we have passed the credentials and we are creating an agent with create method. And instruction we have passed, you are a expert psychologist AI that detects emotions and mental states from the text and be empathetic and insightful. And name we have given it as a mood analyzer. So let's go ahead and execute this. So with the help of this, it will connect to the Azure AI Foundry service. And then now we have access to the model that we have deployed, GPT-4o model. Now next step is that we need to go ahead and run the agent. So as we have defined the agent, next step for running the agent, we have used a synchronous main function. Again, in order to give a parallel execution capability, we are using a synchronous call. And user input we have passed, I have been feeling so unmotivated lately, even though I want to achieve a lot. And in order to run that, we are just using agent.run and we are passing the user input. And that's it. Let's go ahead and execute this. So it will go ahead and use the GPT-4o mini model that we have deployed, and you can see it is generating the response that, okay, it has given the solution that, okay, it's a common to feel stuck or demotivated, and it has generated the answer just like an psychologist agent. Now, let's say if you want to enable a streaming output, then you can easily go ahead and do that. Let me add this particular code. With the help of agent.runStream, you can generate a streamable response. Now, these streamable responses are very much important because you don't want your user to keep waiting until the full response is generated. And instead, you can start showcasing the response as and when the tokens are generated by the large language model. And that is what is feasible with the help of runstream. So in order to test that, let me just add that in 500 words so that we'll be able to see the final response in streaming. So you can see it is generating the streaming response, and how exactly the moment the LLM is generating the token, it is providing those tokens to the user. So that is also very simple with the help of this framework. And the next step is that, let's say, if you want to pass and customize message, let's say in this case, you want to pass or you want to analyze a image, you can easily do that. So we have imported a chat message from agent framework, and with the help of that chat message, you can define the role, you can define the content. Let's say here we have defined the content that the text content is that analyze the emotions from this particular picture, and then we have passed the link for that particular picture. Now this picture is a waterfall image. This is the image that we are passing. For this image, we are running the agent to see whether it is generating the response or not. So with the help of this particular feasibility, you can easily leverage your large language model to solve the use cases not only from the text but from images and videos as well. So you can pass your image from local as well. You just need to load the image and convert that into bytes format, and you can pass this to the model. So those feasibilities provided by this model. So let's go ahead and execute this, and it will go ahead and analyze this particular image and generate the response as per the text that we have passed. Okay, you can see it has reviewed this particular image, and then it has generated that, okay, peacefulness is there, connection with nature, refreshment, then adventure, all that information it has given. So yeah, this is how the Microsoft Agent Framework is helping us in order to quickly build the Agentic AI application. And this is just a simple example that we have seen in order to understand how exactly you can build the connections and connect to the service. And going further, we'll leverage much more from this particular service, and we'll understand and deep dive into each and every details. And also we'll build an end-to-end AI, Agentic AI project as well. So please stay tuned for that. So yeah, I hope this session was helpful for you, and it gave a good introductory overview of Microsoft Agent Framework. And if you are interested, please let me know in the comment section which AI project should I cover with the help of this particular agent framework. So yeah, please stay tuned for the upcoming videos, and thanks for watching this video. Thank you so much, and see you soon in the next video.